It's Wolf here, and it's time for another CD review. This time we're looking at Question Mark from XXXTentacion. Now, the title of this album is a symbol because it's a question mark, so for the purpose of this review, to make it easier, I'm just going to refer to it as Question from here on out. So, this album came out in 2018, according to this copyright sticker on here, and it was XXXTentacion's last non-posthumous album. This is the last album he released before he was shot. It contains quite a few of his bigger songs on it, but we'll get to the actual music in a minute, so let's start off with the artwork. On the front cover here, you have a big question mark with XXX above it. Now, in a lot of albums, I say that I think that you should have album name and artist name on there, but the question mark is the album name, so that is there. The XXX, actually, I don't really see anywhere on this album, on the outside of this album, where it tells you that it's an XXXTentacion album. However, I think most people understand that the triple X is for XXXTentacion. So that is like fine, and also the sort of simple look of not putting that many words I think fits with not only the vibes of X's songs, but just like the vibe that X seemed to give off in general. So yeah, also if you look at the question mark in the border around the little box here, you'll see that it's made up, both of them are made up of a bunch of little other pictures, which is really cool. I think that's a nice added touch, and I think it also sort of fits with the style of the album and of X's music in general. Turning it on to the side, you'll see that it just says XXX, which I think is a little bit odd that they didn't put the question mark on the side, that they only have sort of a shortened version of the artist name on the side. But since this is one of these albums, actually I don't really think that I saw this album in a scenario at all where I didn't know who the artist already was, so not having a full artist name really isn't the biggest deal. And also, now that I think about it, I don't think that there's very many musicians who start their names with XXX other than XXXTentacion. So I'd say that that would be a problem in other scenarios, but it's not at all a problem for this album. Flipping it onto the back, you also have, I believe, the same exact border as the front, made up of the little pictures, so you have some consistency there. And then you also have a track list. Track lists are always very, very, very good thing to have, so that's a very good thing to see. This also is one of the track lists that includes features right in the song titles, which is nice because then it makes it easy to figure out who's featured on songs. And yeah, I mean, overall, the artwork is simple, but that fits perfectly with this album. Like, I'll put it this way, I mean, this is jumping ahead a little bit to the music review part of this, but I feel like with a lot of songs that he made, X tried to not only make his songs sound good, but sort of evoke some sort of feeling in the listener, and I think that the artwork on this album also tends to do that. Opening up the album, you'll see that you have all of the information along with a picture of X flipping his hair around. So this is all the info, this is all of the song names again, tells you the features once again, but also the producers, mixing, mastering, writers, all that sort of stuff, which to a normal listener might not be super important, but it is helpful for people like me who do the radio stuff if I ever need to enter that in for some reason, for, like technical reasons or whatever. So that's always nice to have that easily accessible right there. There is no insert for this album, but again, simplicity as a theme seems to be going on through not only this album but X's albums overall, and all the info that you would have probably found on an insert is on the inside of the case anyway, so it's not really necessary. So pulling out the CD, which comes out of the right hand side, you will see that it has another question mark. I believe it is the same question mark as on the front. It is the same art with another little XXX with the quotations on the left side, and then a bad vibes forever and identifier number on the right side. I think, again, good consistency between the front cover and what's on the CD, and also once again the whole pictures within the question mark thing is pretty cool looking. The only thing I will say about this CD though is that the quality of the printing looks a little bit odd. It looks a little bit soft on the edges of the question mark there, but that's really not a big deal because most of the time in the CD player you don't see the CD anyway, or it's spinning so fast that it doesn't really matter. So yeah, that's all the artwork. I think, like I said, that this artwork actually fits this album pretty much perfectly because it fits with the like it's just simplistic. Like it goes for simplicity, and I think that just fits in with a lot of the songs on this album. And so speaking of the songs, let's talk about the music. So like I said, this album has a lot of X's more well-known songs and ones that you might have even heard on the radio and stuff, actually, because I heard some of these on the radio and not not my own show. But yeah, so I'd say that this album does a couple of things really well. For one, it has a lot of variety. It shows X's talent as an artist to be able to jump between pretty soft songs to more hardcore songs to just more traditional rap. It shows his ability to vibe with multiple artists and stuff in different tracks. There's some good features on here. There's a ton of features on that I Don't Even Speak Spanish LOL song, and that is one of my personal favorite songs off of this album. But like I said earlier in the review, that it was kind of jumping ahead about how I feel like with a lot of music that he made, X tried to not only make things sound good, but evoke some sort of emotion in the listener. And really, like, every single song on this album manages to do that. They're all very, very good. They all sound really good. And like I said, it also just proves his versatility as an artist for him to be able to have, like, a kind of sad song followed up by a more, like, scream-heavy song. And both of them sound very, very good. And it's the same dude. But, yeah, like I said, showed his versatility as an artist. And just really good collection of songs. And actually in the introduction where he's saying about how, you know, it's an album that's meant to be listened to at any time, I'd say that there really is a song on this album for pretty much every scenario that you could probably start playing. Definitely an album I would suggest checking out. I actually don't know how easy it would be to find a physical copy, because I know that this came out on streaming services and for download a while before it came out on physical release, and I don't know if they're still making them or not, but I think they are, so it might not be that hard. I feel like a lot of people know who X is by this point already, so like I don't really know if it's necessary to say like, oh, go take a listen first, because most people know that he's a talented artist and everything. But yeah, I would definitely say to give it a listen and, you know, check it out on streaming or on YouTube. I think the whole album's on YouTube if you want to listen to it there. Check it out, and then if you like it, go get yourself a physical copy. I will say, though, that buying a physical copy, I don't know, I think there's a vinyl version of it too. I don't know if the vinyl comes with anything extra. The CD didn't really come with anything too fancy, but it is just nice to have it on a physical copy, especially because the artwork on it is pretty cool. So yeah, definitely check it out. Like I said, a wide variety of songs, so maybe if you don't like the more screamy stuff, you might like some of the more chilled out stuff, or vice versa. And yeah, so it's Question from XXXTentacion. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. I'm going to be reviewing Skins at some point soon too. I also have that album from X. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in future videos and reviews and stuff. Bye-bye.